What is up, guys? Episode 3, Talking with Tonka.
We're here with Kev Nichols, a.k.a. DJ Kev. He is a podcaster, DJ. He gives back to his community. Kev, what's up, man?
What's up, Eric? Thanks for having me on,
man. No doubt, man. Thanks for filling in last minute. Another scheduling mix-up. But you were going to be on later, and you decided to step up and help me out.
Got some free time on my hands.
So, being a podcaster, do you have a lot of scheduling mix-ups that happen?
Literally just happened this week.
Yeah.
I mean, scheduling is always tough, but that's why you always gotta, reach out to your connections, right?
Yeah.
Reach out,
Yeah, you were one of the, first people I reached out to, because I know I put up a thing on Instagram because I was I was kind of like freaking out. I was like, I don't know what to do. This is the first time, second time it's happened, but I just literally waited. I just reached out to the next guest and see if they were available, whatever. But you were one of the first to respond, so that's why I reached out to you first.
Yeah.
Because I was one of those things. I was like, I didn't want to check it right away.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me wait and see who responds, because you know how it is.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want you kind of have a vision for what that week's going to be like.
Yep.
So you don't want to just bring a rando
Mess
on.
it up.
And
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you'll learn as you go into the podcast journey that scheduling mishaps are going to happen all the time, but you just got to adapt, and it's gonna teach you. That's why I love it so much, that it teaches you to adapt in more than one way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. You learn and adapt, and that's what I'm doing each week, because shout out to DJ 9. He compresses the audio for me. He's sending me the add-on for GarageBand or Audition to do it. He just hasn't done it yet. Yeah. I guess he just likes doing extra work.
Eddie's a man of the people, man. He helps me with my flyers. He's just a good dude, man.
Yeah, for sure. And he was episode 1. Has over, I want to say last time I checked, it was like 1,500 plays. Which was crazy.
It was a great episode. I listened to it in the car. It was a great episode.
Thank you, man.
Yes, absolutely.
It's something I'm really trying to strive for, is make it relatable. So now it's easier for me to talk to DJs, obviously, because it's something.
It's like your industry.
Yeah, it's what I do. Right. But that's also why I wanted to have you on, because you're not just a DJ.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Your podcast is great. You've got great traction, especially on YouTube, which is like the hardest thing to get traction on.
It's tough.
And that's what I'm struggling with right now, is getting my videos out on time.
I mean, what's this, your third episode?
Yes, my third
one. Dude, it takes
Jimmy's
time.
episode's not even out on YouTube yet.
It takes time. It takes time. You build that schedule for yourself, and then you start getting into a rhythm, and that's when you start building that consistency for yourself.
Yeah. So that's why I think that's my biggest thing now is I want the audio to be consistent, and then once that gets consistent, and that's why I was really struggling to make sure this one gets out tomorrow.
Yeah.
So now your video won't be out till next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Just
be proactive. That's all.
So I was thinking about just changing the schedule so to fit kind of what's fitting now.
Yeah.
So I feel like audio, perfect, Thursday, 8 a.m. because that's not a lot. It's just tweaking a little couple things, and I do it uncut. Right. So except for the mic checks in the beginning, it's uncut.
Sure. For sure.
So we mess up, we start talking, and we mess up, people are going to hear it.
It is what it is.
So, but the video, how a pain in the ass is. These GoPros, you think it's recording one solid clip.
Yeah.
Right? It's not. It does these ones do 8-minute clips that you just have to piece together, and then you got to make sure the audio lines up.
Yep.
And all these things.
I had the same issues when I first started. So after the pod, I'm gonna help you.
Okay.
Because I think that, like I said, I really love what you're doing. And first of all, I gotta shout out the sneaker collection, man. This is seeing it in person is crazy, man. It's I've never been a sneakerhead, but like I said before, seeing you with all these sneakers, man.
What's funny is this is only probably if I had to guess, besides the pairs that are up there, because there's more up there, you probably didn't see that.
I did. Oh shit! There's 6 pairs up there. 7 pairs.
That's my Reebok collab collection.
Yeah.
But this is probably not even half of my collection.
That's wild.
The rest is in the basement.
You were talking about in your episode, Eddie, that there's some you found from 90s, right?
Yeah.
It's wild.
Actually, they're right there. They're in that black box on top of that speaker.
Damn. See, man. And this is just totally you, man. Like I said, I think this is gonna be a great ad for you to take to be in a podcast, because even when I had you on mine, if you haven't checked it out, please go watch.
We'll put a link we'll put a link to my video on his podcast.
Yeah.
Make sure you drop him a follow.
I could tell you just had that charisma about you, and then once I saw you were starting your own, I'm like, oh hell yeah! I'm really excited to see where you go.
Someone gave me one of the greatest compliments, and they're not a DJ, they're not in the industry, they're nothing. They just like podcasts. They're you sound so natural. like talking to people.
You have a voice for it.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I was like, so that's why I was, I'm gonna have like a couple of radio hosts on.
You
should.
Like,
who knows? Maybe this will go somewhere.
Dude, you should. I had John Marks on from 94.1.
Oh, really?
That was a cool episode because like I would hear his radio voice, but then it's like, oh shit, he's talking to me. Like it's cool, and you definitely pick some things up, And,
and I know Sean Brace, so maybe I'll get him.
Yeah,
on.
dude.
Sean Brace is a good dude.
Yeah,
he's a Manioc guy too. He lives really near. Close.
Yeah, you're in the cut.
Yeah, literally. So I was trying to people, obviously they don't know where I live, but my close friends are always like, yo. Like, does people think you're gonna like kill them, bring them down the street?
Nah, man. Like I said, once you walk in, it's a beautiful house. You got the graffiti art on there, man. It's a good setup.
Yeah, I have some cool things in mind for like when you walk down the stairs.
Yeah.
Right around my gym, they're redoing like all the traffic lights. So I'm gonna try to find like a smaller one and like ask them like, what are you guys doing with these? Or obviously just
take one.
Yeah. Can I just take one or two? And I have this cool idea when you're walking down the steps where the green light of the light will be motion activated. So when you walk past it, it'll illuminate on the wall. It's going to say, keep moving forward.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Man.
So, like, I'm redoing that. Oh, you see all the brick wall that I...
Yeah.
That's
dude,
like my thing.
Like I said, it's clean, man. The setup is clean.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that all along the hallway. And then, mount the light. So, it's like I said, it's motion activated. And the green light will illuminate against the wall. And it's going to say, keep moving forward.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah.
You got to let me know when it's finished.
Yeah,
come check it out.
It's definitely, as soon as this kitchen repair is done, man, this thing is like taking forever.
I know.
I'm thankful for friends that I have, but it's like, I'm a side project for them. So it's like whenever they get a chance, I'm like, yo, it's pouring, bro. Like all this $5,000 I put out for my house. Literally, my whole shore house fund is gone. So,
oh, wow.
Which it's, it is what it is. Maybe I shouldn't have got a shore house, but all that money's gone now because I had to put it towards my house. But I told this guy, I'm like, yo, like, is this ruining like what I just paid for you to fix?
Right.
Like, because you didn't put the siding on yet.
Right.
He's like, no, man. Like, it's fine. It's pressure treated wood and all this stuff. I was like, yeah, but you're giving me anxiety.
Make sure you get your money's worth though.
Yeah. Sure. I was like, yeah, fix my shit.
Yeah, man.
But I appreciate the comments.
For sure.
So let's dive into you, man. So some people that haven't checked out your podcast, give us a little bit about Kev Nichols, not DJ Kev. I want to hear about Kev Nichols.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So my podcast is called The Loft. I've been doing it for around 2 years. It's weird. I kind of think of that as when like my life started in a weird way. So I grew up.
I learned that from listening to your one-on-one with yourself.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I mean I never said this before, but I'm not gonna lie. The day I filmed that, I lost my job. For a bunch of stuff happened, and I lost my job, and because I had a 9-to-5 job, but I lost it. I actually never said that before to really anyone. But I felt really motivated to just be like to kind of just speak about like myself because I feel like I'm on episode. I just did an episode with Kurt yesterday. Shout out to Kurt Gibson. He's the man. But
Kurt, see what up?
He's the nicest dude. He's so genuine, man. I love that dude so much.
Yeah, me and Kurt go way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're I don't mean to cut you off.
Nah, you're good.
Me and Kurt, we were always friends. Like
yeah,
obviously coming up together in the DJ scene and everything like that. But we really connected. Like I think it was like 2 summers. We golfed like 3 days a week together.
Yeah.
And I shouted him out on your podcast because. Yeah. You really learn who people are outside of work.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you see that with guests you have
Absolutely.
on. Like, you learned about me that a lot of people don't even know.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? A lot of stories. But
yeah.
I'll let you finish.
I was going to say, I'm rooting for that man for sure. I love him so much. I was 72 episodes in, and I tell all these people's stories, and I realized I never told mine. And I've always had a chip on my shoulder growing up in Northeast Philly. Went to Our Lady of Calvary grade school, Archbishop Bryan High School, played basketball my entire life. That was like my life. Basketball was my entire life. Didn't drink, didn't smoke, didn't I didn't really I was the president of my class. Like I didn't really do any of that stuff that like a normal 17-year-old would do in Northeast Philly, which is go drinking in the woods and stuff like that. I never did that. I just never did that. Until junior year of high school, but that's besides the point. So up until that point when I was 16 years old, I just really focused on basketball, and then I ended up losing my grandma, my dad's mom.
Yep.
And then me and my first love had a breakup, right? And that was always tough because I never really lost anyone before in my life.
Right.
So I lost them.
I've been through that.
Right, and I really struggled, and it sounds funny because you're 16 years old, but that's when your mind's really developing. So through that point, I always tried to get her attention. I always tried to impress her and try to get her to see me. So I became president of my class. Was on the basketball team, and she was a cheerleader. I just really wanted to be seen by everyone. And I think that I built that that built that like desire to be somebody in a weird way. I think because I always never really felt like I fit in.
Right.
So, going to college, I went to Temple University, graduated. I started off in business, was gonna drop out because I'm not a college person. I'm not a school person at all.
Yeah.
So I told my mom, like, yo, Trisha, I'm gonna drop out. She said, Kev, why don't you just switch schools or switch to media and production or switch majors? I'm like, all right. So I switched to media and production.
That's what I went to school for.
Right. And then, so 2018, I graduated in 2019. So 2018, I went to LA for 6 months for an internship. So I went to LA and I loved it. It was so nice because, you're in LA, right? It's before pre-COVID. It's like the glitz and glamour before.
I love LA.
Yeah, it's dope. So I came back and then I graduated in 2019. And then 2020 hit, COVID. Lost all my DJ gigs, and I really took myself seriously as a DJ because I just really never was surrounded by people who thought higher than that, if that makes sense. Like in my neighborhood, like, you work at a union job or you work something like this, and then obviously the older you get, the more your mind expands, the more people you start to meet. So I finished school and I lost all my DJ gigs. So I was living down the shore for the entire summer, going out in Wildwood, drinking, and not really thinking about much about life or about moving forward. So after that, I had like $5,000 to my name and I lost it all just drinking, getting different hotel rooms, getting different, different living in different houses. I remember specifically, I said in the episode that, I was about to go home for the first time this summer. And like I said, I had no shore house. I just lived at different people's houses. I was house hopping basically.
Yeah, basically.
And so I put a story up, but walking on the boardwalk, was going to get ready to go home. And this girl said, hey, why don't you stay at my house in Sea Isle? Because they closed the bridges because of the riots and stuff, right? And so my buddy Tim was a cop down there, and he was about to start working down there. Like, yo, Kev, don't come back. The bridges are closed. I lived in Sea Isle for a week, drinking wine every night, having wine nights every night, and I lived out of a trash bag. I had 2 pairs of pants, a shirt, and like a bathing suit. It was just crazy. I had to do wash over every day. It was insane. Like, it just wasn't a way to live. And I came back from summer. I'm like, all right, I'm still living at home. I'm like, all right, something's got to change. I do music as well. I started music 4 years ago, or around probably when I was 21, so rough 5 years ago. So I started music. Shout out to my buddy Kid Travis. He got me into it. Dude's killing it now. He has like a few million on Spotify. Like he's doing his thing. But he got me into music, and so I do music whenever I kind of feel inspired. So I did a song. I showed my sister, and she said, "Can you make me a song?" And I was like, "Sure. Like I would love to."
Yeah, I remember you talking about this.
Yeah. So I made a song called Free. It's on, you can stream it anywhere. But I made a song called Free, and it was about everything she struggles with in her life, with her personal issues. I have a twin sister. She's my twin.
Yeah.
And
I was going to ask you about
that. So she's my twin, and we talked about, or in the song I talked about not being free, not being happy until you truly find out who you want to be. And, it really resonated with her. And like I said, it's kind of just poured out of me. So the idea was to interview her. And I told my buddy Nick about it, and he said, yeah, like, what's like a podcast? And I'm like, wait, what? Like, what are you talking about? And he was like, yeah, so you want to do a podcast with her? I'm like, I didn't really think of it as that, but sure. So he asked to do it with me, and so me and him did it, and the rest is kind of history. I kind of just led on from there. But I feel like from that point on, building, like, I really started to expand who I became as a person creatively, with things that we talked about, like the scheduling or even like the camera, just all the things that go into production.
But you learned it all in school, so it should have came in second.
To be honest with you, I really didn't. Like a lot of the stuff I learned. So there's stuff you teach, but for me, dude, if there was a lecture hall, I never went to class. To be honest with you, sorry, Mom, but I never went to class. Like
you are more of the studio class.
Yeah,
you went to.
Yeah. Like if there's lecture halls, I didn't go. Like I got 3.0 GPA. That was good enough for me, right? All I wanted was a piece of paper from my mom that said that I graduated, and I did. I never got it. Oddly enough, it never came in the mail.
Yeah.
So but like I said, that's when 2020 is really, and I think everyone kind of relates to that in a weird way. That's when things kind of really started to change for me, because I started to really expand my mind, and also got to meet people like yourself. And first DJ I met in the industry was Eddie, was Nine, and he really kind of inadvertently kind of showed me what is possible, right? So for me, I thought it was just family parties and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I started to really, like I said, with meeting people and with kind of putting myself out there, because seeing you guys put out flyers or seeing people around me really start to really like creators like Brand Flakes or something like that, right? So you have these people on and you network and you meet these people, you kind of realize how like-minded you are in a weird way. And so my mind really started expanding, and so now I'm just really trying to just become the best version of myself. And then it led me into meeting Megan Cohen from the Grace Project, and starting the nonprofit stuff and falling in love with that, falling in love with taking care of your community, because my mind was, I always felt like I needed to be in LA, right? So when I came home, I got really depressed because I thought I had to be there. But life kind of has a weird way of showing you that you're fine just where you need to be.
And I think in your podcast, your grandmom gave you a really good advice.
My grandmom said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And that was the best thing she's ever said to me, because I've always thought about it. And it's so simple, but it's so effective, because it really does change your life when you start to change your perspective on how you see certain things. Like for me, I could have just been like, back in the future, back 10 years ago when I lived in LA, that was the shit. When in reality, it could be like, you know what, take the opportunities and chances you have now and build what you already have now, and see where it goes. And that's kind of what the stage I'm at in my life now. Like I said, I feel like 2020 is when I really began to a new version of me kind of was born. I feel like the old version of me died, like the living down the shore part, the non-entrepreneurial, it's not really seeing anything for myself. Like I've always was entrepreneurial, but I never felt like I never really fit in, but I didn't really know what my lane was. And I think slowly but surely I'm trying to figure it out. I'm not there yet by any means, but I feel like I have an idea of what I want to do,
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, for sure. And then, I think I said it on your podcast, and I don't know if I said it here yet, but you are who you surround yourself with. So it's kind of the same thing that your grandmom said, but in a different aspect.
Right, absolutely.
So you hang out with a lot of people that, are going down a lane that you don't want to go in, but that reflects on you. So people think that of you. Right. So once you change, who you hang around with, if they're not inspiring you, they're not, intriguing you to be better and all these things, then they probably aren't the right people.
Right. And it's interesting.
Did you find that when you were down the shore that you were hanging out with people that weren't in your lane, that you were, surrounding yourself with people that you shouldn't have been hanging out with?
Yeah, it's because they wanted to be around me, but I kind of just let it happen. I never really, it sounds weird, but I never really took charge of my own life in a weird way, because they wanted to be around me, but I knew me being around them wasn't good for me. Them being around me was good for them, but vice versa, it wasn't good. So it's and I realized a lot recently, seeing, like I said, just seeing people who I've connected with on social media, for example, seeing them promote themselves and just just kind of taking that creative outlet, right? And then going back and seeing people from my neighborhood who I still to this day deal with people talking shit directly to me on Snapchat, and I'm
happens all the time.
I'm like, yo, do you want to throw hands or what? I'm still a Philly kid. I don't give a shit. You think I'm soft or something, but I'm really not. But it's interesting because you see the mindset of, like I said, I use you guys as an example because I really look up to you guys, just how well you guys are doing, and just what you guys do in terms of putting yourselves out there and just being good people.
Right.
So I see you guys posting flyers and stuff, so it has me inspired, and then I see them not ever even thinking about that. So it's weird because you go back and forth and you realize that I could have gotten sucked into that mindset, and I was for a while, and that's when I was doing all that shit down the shore, doing whatever. Granted, I still love going down the shore, I still love being down there, but it's just a different kind of way.
It's different kind of fun now.
Exactly.
And sometimes with you being a DJ, it's a different kind of fun because, who knows, you might be working down there or working nearby. So you're just crashing for the night.
Exactly.
So you actually are down there with purpose now.
Exactly. That's purpose. I think that's the biggest thing you could have said, is just purpose. That's my biggest thing.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm trying to make that move, because I had those gigs at Shenanigans at Seattle. It's over at 2:30 in the morning. I wouldn't get home till 5. And I had to get up and do something the next day.
Right.
Where now I can just go to sleep in my own house down there. You
exactly.
know what I mean? And shout out to DJ Smooth. I already have Whitebriar dates. I already have the Point dates. I already have dates already down there for the summer. So it's the house is basically going to pay for itself.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I'm trying to build, more Tonka as a brand.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because I don't know if you came to my party recently, my pop punk party.
Yeah.
That's a traveling party. I'm
killed it, by the way.
Thank you, man.
Such a good time.
Next one's in March. Stay tuned for the date. I'm still waiting on the date.
I was telling you there, I was it's such a good vibe because everyone there is just having a great time. The music's good. The drinks are flowing, except for me because I'm doing dry January. Yeah. But it was honestly such.
How was that water though? The water was good.
Dude,
they had a water pitcher.
It's where it's cold, man. It's a stateside cup too.
Yeah. Shout out to stateside.
Yeah, adds a little flavor to it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a traveling party I'm trying to develop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where once a month it's going to be in a different spot. Right?
Yeah.
So my goal is to this summer. Obviously, I have a cool idea for the podcast. We'll be sitting on my deck outside recording this, which would be sick. So if you're down the shore, you want to record another one, let me know because I'll be doing this literally on my deck down the shore.
Yeah, I'm down.
But I'm trying to like bring it to like a place down in Seattle, which I think, you know, June will be a little tough, but like July, like everybody's down the shore.
Yeah.
Like all the teachers are off school, and you know they have a teachers weekend where the you know all the teachers finally have off. You know, what I mean, they have their 2 months or a month and a half to themselves.
Yeah.
So I figured it'd be cool to like do, you know, like 1 or 2 of those parties down there. So I'm trying to develop it now so I can come to these places with revenue, like how much revenue the club brought in and all these things. And that's what a lot of like younger DJs like yourself, you know, even me until like recently, I needed to learn for myself is you need to come up with a plan before you go introduce a party to somebody else. Right?
Yeah, it has to be thought out.
Right. So like that's something I'm trying to build now because as I get older, the gigs are just, you know, they're just not there. You know what I mean? Like they used to be. So like I really need to develop an identity for myself. So like it goes back to the purpose, right? So we need to have a purpose. So this is my purpose is trying to like develop a party.
I love that. And I think that's going to be awesome. And like I said, like just with what you've already built, like you got to give yourself some credit. I mean, like I said, like the podcast is I'm so excited for you because I could already see how your mind's going. And that's like why I love it so much is because your mind just starts going and you get to get all your friends involved, get people you care about involved. And it's just a good overall atmosphere, you know?
Right. And I just want people to know that are listening and that aren't in the industry that I am going to have like non-industry people on.
Yeah. It's not an industry specific thing,
right? And that's one of the reasons why I want to have you on because you're a man of many talents. Like you're giving back to the community. You have a podcast. You're also a DJ, and you're just a genuine good human.
Thank you.
And that's what leads me back to a previous point about who you surround yourself with. Like I surround myself with people that are like-minded. You know what I mean? They want to push forward. They want to have a purpose, and that's it, basically.
Yeah, you know I mean, and it took a lot of time. And like I said, I'm still not there. I'm only 26. I'm not there yet. But it's funny because even like recently, as I've started getting myself into the city industry, before I was just in Northeast Philly doing private events and doing bars down there. Before that, my podcast was it's still centered around mental health, but like it was a lot of people who like I had interventionists on. I had this girl Bryn McMahon who almost took her life jumping in front of a train. Now she's in a wheelchair, and then she
I remember that story. That is so
she traumatic. She's the sweetest woman in the world. I love her so much. I talk to her all the time. But that was like where it was really centered around. And then as it began to grow, I've gotten like UFC fighters on. I've had Brandon Novak from Jackass. It's all different types of people because you realize it's not just about. At the beginning, everyone was like, "Oh, and you still go out and drink?" And I'm like, "Well, listen, I'm a DJ. Like, I'm still going out, having a good time. I'm still that person." But
you're not blacking out.
No, not that. But it's more so just like the point is, I don't just sit in my house and like do nothing. I still am the same person I am, but I also have I'm building a platform that also allows people to tell their stories, you know, and
so it goes back to that word again, purpose. So you're creating a purpose not only for yourself but for your listeners as well. So that's something that I'm trying to do too is like give people a look into like what we deal with on a day-to-day basis, right?
Yeah.
So like I just had Jimmy Six on.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I met him at Pace and Blossom. He's such a nice dude.
Yeah, Jimmy's a nice dude. And I wanted to hear his story about how do you come from a bartender to a DJ. What was that like?
Yeah, Kurt told me about that. That's crazy.
Right. So like that's something. That was one of the questions I have for you. With everything that you've been through coming from LA and, you know what I mean, you're not knowing your purpose, how do you feel like has DJing helped you find yourself? Because I know you're into music.
Yeah.
You made that song and everything. So like how has DJing helped you?
I think DJing has helped me. I mean, DJ's always helped me. I mean, I started DJing when I was 16 years old, and it always helped me because, one, it was income. And two,
it's always nice, right?
And two, it forced me out of the house, and it really forced me to connect with people, whether it was clients or people at the parties who were asking for requests. I do take requests because I believe in that. Like, it depends where we're at, by the way. It depends where we're at. If we're at a family party, yes, I will. But I take requests because I've understood that like you're a part of the entertainment, and it's like for me, I'm like, sounds weird, but I'm extrovertedly introverted, if that makes sense. I'm out, but I'm also like pretty chill when I'm out. But yeah, people come around you and ask for songs and all that stuff. They want to be they want to be like seen and they want to have a good time, and I don't mind that. So it's like for me, DJing has really helped me because I love music as well. Like I love the art of it, and I've recently really fell in love with the art of it again. Just the mixing, or they're adding new songs, or showing a new song to people. You know,
for sure.
The whole art of it.
That's one of our fun things about our job is like finding that dope remix. You
can always add
right.
to it. Yeah,
you can always add to it.
Yeah,
always.
I think for me, it really helped me because it allowed me to just connect with people, and it forced me to be out. You know, it forced me to be social, and it forced me even when I didn't want to be. Sometimes, you know, it just really forced me to connect with people and be social, and you know, that's why I love it so much.
Yeah. Okay, so that's your way of expressing yourself and getting you out of your house.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, like I love to be out. Like I'm not saying that like I sit in my house or I don't go out.
Right.
I do go out all the time, but like in a good way, in a fun way. But I'm just a real people person. You know.
No, I get that. I mean? So am I. You know what I mean? And you know, I have those. You know, I have those, you know, introvert kind of days. Like yesterday was that day. So like, I'll be open and transparent, right? So I had a guest, known him for years. Got the stomach bug, so I'm like, now what? Like, what do I do? Like, I was freaking out, and it kind of put me in a bad mood. And you know, the first thing I did, I said it on your podcast. What was the first thing I do when I'm in a bad mood? I go to the gym.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So I go to the gym, I get my workout, I clear my mind, I come home, and I'm like, you know what? You know, you got to get back up, right? You got to keep moving forward, like kind of what I want to do with that thing in my house. I just needed that reminder, like you got to keep going, you got to put an episode out, you got to be consistent if you want to build a brand and all these things.
Yep.
And you know, one of the things I talked about on episode 1 is like I wanted a purpose. I wanted something to do with my days off. I wanted no days off. Right. I wanted to do something. Everybody has their thing. Nine has the flyers. Smooth has his wedding business. Like I needed something to call my own. So here is Talking with Tonka.
Yeah,
right?
And you're gonna be surprised how far you go with this because, like I said, you've already done so much for yourself, and this is just another extension of yourself. And I'll actually kind of hit on your point of the being down on yourself and going to the gym type of deal. I remember when the Phillies were going to the World Series, or they're at least really close to it. I had a week where I didn't have an episode out, and I'm like, what am I going to do? So my friend Maddie, and this is why it's so important to have people who surround yourself with that are good people, Madison Thompson, she works with me at the Grace Project as well. She said, Kev, like, you need to get an episode out this week. And I'm like, not in the mood. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. So it taught me to adapt. And I hit up Kyle Pagan from Crossing Broad, and he came on and ended up having this kid Tyler and Justin, who are the Bully Boys on like social media, from Kyle, he put out, Crossing Broad puts out those videos. So I DM'd Kyle on Twitter, and he came over like the next day, and we got an episode out, and ended up being a really good episode. But it's just little things like that, like having people who can push you and, you know, and help you get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
You're not always going to have that time or the energy to do it yourself. You know?
Yeah, I'm lucky that I have some people that kind of know how I work. You know what I mean? So, you know, I was having so many problems with getting the first episode out on YouTube, right? Adobe Premiere kept crashing and all these things, right? And I just kept like pushing it back, giving myself a deadline. The deadline would be met, and I was like freaking out, wanted to rip my hair out. Yeah. And then I had people that were like, "Yo, like Smooth." He's like, "Yo, just walk away, come back later," because they know how I work. I'm just gonna keep working until I get it to work, and then I'm gonna be stressed out. So like, one thing about technology and computers, it's gonna be there in an hour. It's going to be there in 2 hours. So why not just get your mind right, come back to it?
Well, let me ask you this. What's your background in editing or audio design?
So I've been video editing and video producing since I was, I think I want to say a senior in high school. So 2001.
Yeah.
Showing my age a little bit. But, you know, I went to Bucks County Community College for video production. So, like, I have backgrounds in audio and video production, and I know the camera quality in episode 1 was terrible, but that was the camera's fault.
I mean, I liked it, honestly. Like, I liked the idea that you kind of meshed the two cameras together.
That was Eddie's idea, to be honest with you.
I mean, yeah, like I said, man, the people, but you know, it's a good idea, and dude, and you're gonna have your own ideas too. Like, dude, like first of all, having this wall, the shoe wall is sick. Like, dude, who knows? Like, if years from now you're gonna have people come in and like sign a shoe or something like that.
Actually, so since I have a question for you. So I was, I didn't do it today, obviously, because I wasn't thinking. But Eddie again, shout out to. I'm actually DJ Nine's gonna be a co-host on a lot of these episodes. Yeah, like it's just hard to track down. He's like Smooth, but he brought up an idea of having the guests bring in their favorite pair of shoes and describe why they're their favorite.
Oh shit.
So that's something that I definitely want to implement,
and
then maybe get a shoe cam. But right now it's like
that's cool.
It's a building process. This is one of these cameras is Jimmy Six's, so it's until I start building the brand a little bit.
My buddy Dylan who he helps me with the cameras.
Yeah,
one of the cameras is his.
Yeah, wow. I mean? Okay, so you kind of are in the same boat as me,
dude. It's exactly.
Stateside, sponsor my podcast.
Yeah, Stateside. Hook him up with a banner, some equipment.
Yeah, I'm already using your cups.
Yeah, right.
And they just dropped off.
I saw that downstairs.
Yeah, all the
like a lifetime supply.
Yeah, I'll actually send you home with the new lemon iced tea. I know it's not dry.
That's very nice of you. Thank you. I mean, I got a few days left.
Yeah, the peach and the half and half. The half and half puts twist tea half and half. To shame. It's so
thanks,
good.
Eric. I appreciate
that.
No
doubt, man.
So nice of you.
No doubt.
I also wanted to say too, and you kind of mentioned, because I wanted to pick your brain a little bit too.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned how you when you graduated high school and all that stuff, but you don't realize how much your life can change in 6 months.
Oh yeah,
seriously.
Yeah. So back to the question you just asked me is my background and all this. I went to Bucks County Community College I should have been a doctor. I went there almost 6 years. Taking different classes.
You went there
I went there.
Yep.
Doctor in school a long time.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Right. Because I started out there with digital animation, 3D animation.
Oh,
so
wow.
I did that for a year and a half, building 3D objects and doing all these things. And I was pretty good at it, but I didn't want to go to the labs and do it. I needed to find something that I wanted to do. So my brother was going there at the same time. And we were only a year apart in school. So we were always pretty close to each other with school. And I think I was going to school and I wanted to switch my major, and I don't think he was in college yet. I wasn't, because we got jobs right outside of high school, because we owned a gas station growing up. So we learned how to work on cars and worked at the gas station. So we didn't really need to go to school.
Yeah.
I worked in construction for a while. I did
everything.
I literally have done a little bit of everything. So
that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So I switched majors to video production. My brother joined with me. I'm pretty sure we started together. I'm not, don't quote me on that, but I did video production. I did there for I want to say I was there for 5 years. And then I tried to transfer to Temple.
Yeah.
And I didn't take my SAT seriously. And I showed up I think I was breakdancing in a nightclub till 2 in the morning. And I showed up an hour late. I missed half the test.
Yeah.
I scored a 600 total on my SATs because I missed half of it. And
that's pretty low.
Yeah, I know. I literally missed half the test, right? So I was I'm not redoing this. This is stupid. Mm-hmm. So I didn't redo the test. And Temple looked at, the first thing they look at is a bigger school. And they're the program is almost full. They look at these things, right?
Yeah.
So they didn't care how many credits I had from Bucks. They didn't care I was transferring from Bucks. They didn't care I had financial aid. They didn't care about any of these things. They were like, "Oh, your SAT scores are too low."
They look at that.
Yeah, that was what I got. Basically the long short answer that I got.
Right.
So I didn't know what to do. Right. So I was working. I was a help desk analyst at Jones, New York. I was a telephone help desk.
Yeah.
I was there for 6.5 years, and I never forget. I call him Uncle Tony. He saw all this potential I had, right? He sees the video projects I'm making in community college. He sees all these things and how I can draw and all these things. He's like, you're wasting. He quoted literally from Bronx Tale, "The saddest thing in life is wasted talent." And he's like, "You're wasting it right now. You're wasting your talent."
Yeah.
He's like, "You're talented in so many different ways." He's like, "You got to find a school that can accept those talents." So I looked online. I was like, video production classes and movie production, audio production. The school that kept coming up was the Art Institute of Philadelphia, right? And I'm like, oh, this sounds like kind of a DeVry Institute kind of deal, right? Where you're just going to, means waste your money.
Yeah.
So I was like, I toured the campus, I did all these things, and it was it was cool. I was in the middle of Center City. So I said, fuck it, right? I'm going to apply. I applied, I got in, obviously. I think everybody gets in. So
still good.
Yeah. So they took 31 of my 91 credits, and I basically had to start school over again.
Oh, wow.
Right. So they got 3.5 years of my money. Fast forward, school's not open anymore. My diploma's worth shit because the school got unaccredited. Right. So
it got unaccredited entirely.
So, yeah, pretty much.
Oh my.
So my bachelor's degree is worth nothing. Thankfully, the jobs that I have used it for accepted it because I, showed them my GPA and all these things.
Yeah, what you did to school.
Yeah, I did the schooling. I showed them my transcripts and all these things. So, obviously I got, the money I should with a bachelor's degree.
For sure.
I started that whole journey, and then, I kind of like you, the lecture class I didn't really take seriously. Back then I had one of those Windows phones. Yeah. So my art history, the way I got through it is I used to put the PDFs on the PowerPoint presentation on my phone and cheat to get through art history. Yep. But I am thankful for some of those classes. Like I can go to Museum of Art now and appreciate the art I'm looking at because
I appreciate it now.
Yeah, I could I could look at the colors. Like these colors are the Back to the Future posters on the wall. I could tell you like what some of those colors will mean, like and why they use those. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually didn't notice these are sweet.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's Back to the Future is my favorite movie. Yeah. So I think my sister gave me 2, my brother gave me 1, and then they were literally just rolled up and never used them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I have a big empty wall. It's using. So, I graduated from there, and then I never got a job in video production. Like, it just never happened. Like, I did a short stint with, like, this law educational video thing.
Right.
And it's never really had the passion to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I would, I'd make my shoe reviews and do these things. I really wasn't into it. So I was like, you know what? I'm into music. So it's audio. I'm into video and doing all these things. So the podcast kind of makes sense.
It does. It perfectly makes sense. And it's like you get to check in with the people you care about, or like check in with guests who you would like to meet, or you know what I mean? You just get to check in with people, and you also get to like tell people a little bit about yourself and what your why is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's important too, especially with you, someone who's in the industry and, someone who's seen in the industry a lot, like you're at Barstool and all these different places. It's like, people want to know a little bit more about you, be able to relate to you a little bit.
And that's what I feel like this podcast can kind of like bring out in my guests and in me.
For sure.
Is the people that are a little bit, maybe don't know me. You know what I mean? They don't know you, or they don't know the guest, so they're intrigued to listen.
Right.
So, and I feel like the guests I'm having on now, I'm comfortable talking to because I know them already.
Yeah, me and you built up a bit of a relationship.
Right, yeah.
Recently,
yeah, which is great. Like I came to your tailgate, you helped me out with, I needed to film people for the game day.
Yeah, had that stuff come out good?
No, some of the audio, man.
It's tough with the music in the background.
No, to be honest, people are just talking too damn loud in the microphone.
Right.
And those cheap microphones.
People in Philadelphia are hype, man.
Yeah. So they're actually bringing me back this week.
Are they?
Yeah, they
you're
actually.
You're gonna do a smooth tailgate, right?
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to make my way to you. I only have 2 hours because I have to do a pregame.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you have time, mine's gonna be insane.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
maybe because I'm parking at Live again and walking down, so maybe I'll like come to you and then go over.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Whatever.
But they loved it. The footage that I did get, they loved it. They already chopped it up into 2 different shorts, which was reels, fantastic. You know what I mean? They want to pay me to do this, so I'm like, yeah, sure, sick. Why not? Yeah,
dude, I'm telling you, man, just run with it.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm doing it. And a shout out to the game day for like reaching out to me and finding me.
Yeah, but they're pretty nice people. When I met one of them with you.
Yeah, yeah. So they I think they're coming to one of these. I think they're coming this week. I have a scheduled meeting with them tomorrow.
Cool.
So that I can't wait. You know what I mean? And it's funny how social media works. They found me via my Philadelphia Phillies reels.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
oh, shit.
They have like a girl that just scours the internet.
Yeah.
And like finds someone in that. They needed a brand ambassador or spokesperson, I guess, from Philadelphia. And yes, people know that I'm not an Eagles fan, but
shit.
But I do wear an Eagles jersey because that was my friend.
You got a Philly hat on right now?
Yeah, I'm a Philadelphia Phillies fan.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I would assume you are, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I wear an Eagles jersey. That was Jeremy Macklin's. He's a friend of mine when he lived here. We're still friends, obviously. We just don't talk anymore, really, because he has a whole life now. He has 2 kids.
He's a legend.
He coaches high school football now.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he coaches in his hometown where he went.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so it's cool. And he just got inducted to the College Football Hall of Fame, which is crazy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, crazy busy dude. But yeah, so it's so funny how the internet works, man. Like, I had one video go viral. That's how they found me.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, now I'm getting paid to make reels. Like I just posted my first payment from the metaverse. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough to motivate me to make more reels.
It's anything, man. And that's the biggest thing too, is just the motivation aspect of it. And like when you get those little hits of motivation, you need to take them and run with it.
Yeah, like these people want to pay me to interview drunk idiots.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, exactly.
And I get to name my price, which is awesome.
Write a blank check, and you can make a career out of anything nowadays too. That's the biggest thing no one realizes too. And going back on the motivation thing, I think I kind of mentioned this before. And shout out to Rose Young. She actually just commented on the episode, my episode, because I mentioned her on it. And I always go back to this one thing that really pushed me when I had a time, because you always have a time. You're going to go through this too. When you have a time when you're like, you kind of feel stagnant, where you feel like you're kind of like, it's like you're on episode 30. You're like, oh, what? Yeah, how am I going to innovate? Or it kind of like the momentum sort of dies down, right? You're always going to have that moment, right? But Rose, she told my mom, she's my neighbor. in Waterside, Ben Salem. Lives like across the street from my mom. She told my mom one day she lost her son to an overdose, I think 2 years ago on Christmas.
It's a shame.
Yeah, so rest in peace. And so it was tough for the family. And she told my mom that she falls asleep to my podcast listening to it because of the stories and because of the conversation, because it helps her go to sleep. Because I would, for a period of time, really hit on the people who are suffering from addiction, right?
Yeah, for
or
sure.
the people who are losing, or people who are kind of like battling through stuff. And I think it really helped her because I actually had the Felices, Never Surrender Hope. They're a nonprofit organization, fabulous. Check them out. But I had them on. And they talked about how losing their son. So around that time is when she lost hers and watching it. And, that comment of her saying that she falls asleep to the pod every night, it hit me huge because for me, I don't really realize I'm kind of a robot where I'm doing the podcast, but then when I'm editing it, putting it out, I don't really look at the numbers that much. I don't look at, obviously I acknowledge comments and all that stuff, but I don't look too deep into it, right? Because for me, it's just like, I want to put it out. If people enjoy it, great. But to have someone comment, say something like that, that's really nice. And it really hit me, it kind of kept me motivated,
Yeah. And that's what, a lot of people commented on episode 1 when I finally got it out on YouTube. They were like, yeah, man, keep going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's funny. I told Jimmy Six last week. I heard him DJ. I've heard him DJ before, you know what I mean? But never in a big room. So I heard him play. He opened for 9 at Nodo. And I was like, dude, don't stop. Keep going. And, I'm glad that you had someone that said, keep going, keep doing that thing, because sometimes we need that push, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
To keep going, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know I asked you to come up with a couple questions for me. So this is where I'm going to ask you to ask me a question.
All right. I got a few for you.
I'll just ask one right now. But it's so funny. I called my neighbor.
Oh, wait, actually, the Pace and Blossom just hit me up. They said
really?
Yeah, they said if you want Tonka, and then the rate will be blank. If that's okay, I'll talk to Eric myself. Hell yeah, let's run it.
Oh, let's run it.
Might be a pod exclusive, right? A Tonka exclusive. About to be doing Pace and Blossom together.
Oh, yeah. It's so funny because I've been trying to play there, and it just, I think what scares them is kind of like I'm an older DJ, so it's like, really, can I play to that crowd?
You can. I've heard you play. Yeah. You definitely can.
Yeah. And that's what, it kind of sucks, about being an older DJ. I don't look old. I'll give myself a comment.
Handsome guy, you look good, brother. You look good.
Yeah,
good.
I don't look old, so it's like I look the part.
Right.
I can sound the part, but you're scared of the part because it's like, I'll put it out. I'm 39 years old. I'm DJing for 21-year-olds.
Own that shit, by the way.
Yeah, for
Own
sure.
that shit.
If I would have had a kid when I was 18, I'm old enough to be some of these kids' dads, but I still can play to a room.
They still love hearing you. I remember the first time I heard you play was at Barstool Parlay.
Right.
And dude, your transitions were absolutely fire, and the music you were playing was just like constant, just upbeat. Like you're so good. Like your transitions into like Sweet Home Alabama, you're good, bro.
And that comes from one of my inspirations is DJ AM. So if you ever listen to his old mixes from back in the day, he'll drop a Dolly Parton record.
Yeah.
I'm not ballsy enough to do that, but because coming from you heard my pop punk party, so I work out the pop punk every day.
Yeah.
So I try to incorporate pop punk and 80s rock into my sets because that's really what helped mold me into a DJ.
To be quite honest with you, I don't think many DJs are doing that.
And that's why I'm trying to. Being older, I had to really set myself apart.
Yeah.
So I'm really trying to bring that party rock feel back to.
Because dude, especially when people are drunk, that shit hits, man.
Yeah,
it hits. And
I played Dear Maria, Count Me In Barstool this week.
I love that song.
People went nuts.
I love that
and they weren't even drunk yet.
Dude, I don't listen to that type of music all the time, but I love that song.
Yeah, for sure. So go ahead, spit this question.
All right, I got 3 for you. Let me go 3 off the bat.
No, just give me one.
One.
Give me your best one.
Okay. It's actually all right, Kev. All right. What do you value most outside of DJing that's not materialistic?
Oh, jeez. Probably my support system. The way people see the potential in me that I don't see in myself. I think that's it. Yeah, because I have friends and family that they motivate me every day and they don't even know it. You know what I mean? And I have friends that push me to do things that I'm not comfortable with doing and stuff like that. And I think that really, I love that. that I have. I surround myself with people that really support me in anything I do. You know what I mean?
It's so important.
And I think, you from an outside perspective looking in, like just by my Instagram, you can tell people support me.
People love you.
Right. And then like not everybody, but
the people who matter.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people that don't like me, and that's okay.
They're not important.
Yeah, no, they're not. And I'm a very hard person to get along with. And I think a lot of people will contest to that, a lot of my friends, because like, I'm kind of stubborn and all these things, but we all have those quirks, right? So then you find a brand like Stateside. Didn't know them from a hole in the wall, but they liked what I was doing, so they supported me by sending me product, wanted me to be a part of their bar and like DJ at their bar because they want to support me because I'm supporting them.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have a really good support system behind me, and I think that's what. To go to your question, I really think that's what.
And,
it is.
And to kind of piggyback off what you just said, like I think having people who know you and also being able to handle you, quote unquote, is important. Because there are people a lot of people who I find myself sometimes to be a little tough.
Yeah, for sure.
People can handle me, and having that support system has been huge, man. I've truly learned that myself. When I was at Noda, I opened up for Joel Corey for Thanksgiving Eve, and all my friends showed out. They gave us a table right in front, and they saw me play, and I was able to be with them when Bobby Santoni came on and then Joel came on, and like it was just like such a perfect night, and like I realized all my real friends were there.
Yeah, and it's funny.
So nice.
I think that's what a lot of like club owners are kind of scared of with me now, is that because I'm older, I won't have a reception like that because all my friends are like older with kids and like all these things.
But dude, look at the Pace and Blossom Industry Night. That was insane. Like,
right? Yeah.
You guys, you're just.
That's what a good thing about the group that I'm surrounding myself with. Like I used to do these Wednesdays at Blondie here in Manioc, right? It was like a dinner party, but they wanted like 80s, 90s music, which is my lane. Like I could play that all night, So, Smooth would come out from where he lives, and like Ray and Nine would come out, and like I'm overly thankful for that. And they're like, "Dude, it's okay. You're my boy. Like I'm gonna come support you." I was like, "But but as I get older, I appreciate those things because it goes back to the support system, right? They know that if no one shows up, I'm gonna be like not butthurt, but like I'll feel some type of
It'll
way.
hit you a little bit.
Yeah. You know how it is. You know what I mean? Like
sure.
like I think I show out when there's people there, and I show off a little bit, and I'm a little bit more comfortable, right?
Yeah.
So to answer your question, my support system.
And when you go out, and also too, when you go out, like I know for me personally, like when I go out to see somebody, I'm going to see them. I don't care what the environment's like. I don't care if it's packed or empty. I'm going to see you.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just, that's just me.
Yeah. So, okay. Now that you asked me that, let's turn that question back to you.
The same question. Okay. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to read the question again?
No, I got it. It was the, So what do I value the most outside of DJing that is not materialistic? I mean, I won't say obviously support group is huge, but I'll give something else too. I think I value. Damn, it's a great question. Right?
It is, right? That's why I was going to ask you because it stumped me at first.
Honestly, support system. Because they've really been huge.
It's all right. It's all right if we have the same answer.
I think that's okay. I think I value the Grace Project, and it sounds like the nonprofit I work with.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because of how much it puts life in perspective for me every single week.
Yeah.
And the preparation that goes into it, and everything, and just like seeing the volunteers come out, and just give to people who they don't even know, right? And just giving people a second chance. I think it's the most important thing to me is just being able to give people a second chance, because I think a lot of people have given me second chances or given me chances in life. When I messed up or have done people wrong. Something very exact that happened last week was this little girl who's a volunteer with her mother, Kim. Her and her family came out, and her daughter was like probably 10, 11 years old, had this really big jacket on, right? Like a big like puffer jacket, kind of like this almost. And this mom was talking to her in line, because I am like, when I set up my volunteers, like we'll have like all tables set up, and then we'll give out like an assembly line, like food, clothes, and then like anything medical or anything.
Yeah.
So the one girl was in the end of the food line, and the mom was talking to the woman outside who lives in Kensington, who has a daughter who's in high school, doesn't have anything, doesn't have a pot to piss in, right? So she's looking for food, whatever. So she's coming out, she was having a conversation with the girl. All of a sudden, I'm kind of walking past, I'm like monitoring my volunteers, make sure everything's cool, And the little girl takes her jacket off her back and gives it to the mom because the daughter didn't have anything for her first day in high school or for high school. She goes to her daughter goes to Truman High School. And,
I went to Truman.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow. So the daughter gave her jacket, her $100 jacket off her back to the mom without even questioning it. And to see that as someone who's 11, 12 years old.
It's gotta be very emotional.
Oh my, dude, I'm not gonna lie. I did want to
a little tear.
I had to walk away. You know, you have moments like that because
that speaks volumes, dude. That kid's got a future, man.
Absolutely. I told her before because you don't really want to. You want them to do it because they want to do it. But I also kind of at the end, I was like, hey, listen, I saw what you did by the way, and that was beautiful. I just you know,
I wasn't even there, and I moved by it.
We're probably gonna take her on we're probably gonna have someone nominate her for our Give a Little Hope program. So we'll pick her up in a limo, take her somewhere nice, and just kind of give her a day. But that's besides the point. But to me, that's what I value most is just being able to see other people, you know, because I took that first step going to Kensington and volunteering it and being out there and seeing what it's all about. Because, you know, there are people out there, we get news crews all the time who come out and want to be with us, but they want to just film it. They don't want to actually be a part of it. So we'll challenge them a little bit. You know, if Sarah Laura from, you know, Savage Sisters challenge them. Like, why are you out here? You know, but it's like to see people like that, I value that so much because I know I was at a point where I was hopeless and, you know, found the Grace Project. But to see people who just, it's their first, second time coming out volunteering and doing that.
Right.
To me, I feel good inside because I know I had a part in that.
Yeah,
know?
for sure. I know that you're really into that just because you came to see me, I think it was last Thursday.
Stratus,
yeah. And you came from one of those things when you had to set up tents in the rain. So that shows your devotion, to help these people. And that's beautiful, man. He's like, there's people in this world that, you know, they go through life not helping a soul. You know what I mean? And they always say, I wish I could have did more. Well, you had chances. Why didn't you do it?
Yeah. And it's all, honestly, what it all comes down to is like some uncles in recovery. And it's like, that's why I got real. That's like the fire that was lit under my ass. But honestly, man, it is just so rewarding because when you're out there with them, right? And you see what they're living through and you have to be patient. You have to be kind to them. You know, and then you come home to your house. You come home to your family. You come home to food. It's just like, it kind of resets my brain every single week. So it's like,
it's a lot of things we take for granted.
Yeah. And like going from Kensington to, I'll do like a little quizzo night on Thursdays for some extra money for like an hour and a half, whatever, at Drake Tavern, just for some extra money. And then I'll go out. And then like to go see you, it's just like, it's just crazy because you go from one extreme to the other. Like we're in a nice Stratus lounge, a nice little rooftop spot.
Then we went to that
2 hours ago I was in Kensington. You know, it's just crazy. It really helps me. So
no, that's cool. You can use that as a motivational tool as well.
For sure. And I always try to encourage people to get involved. Like, you know, it's like you'll see like I have like a Nisa from MTV Challenge wanting to come out, and you have people in the neighborhood wanting to come out. You just have people who you would never expect, and it's just really cool to see because there are good people out there. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So there's good people out there, and everyone, I believe, you want to believe everyone's a good person. They just need the opportunity.
Right.
Know?
Okay.
So.
All right. Question 2. Let's hear it.
Yes. All righty. Question number 2.
And it better be a good one.
I believe. Okay.
Better be a good one, dude.
All right, Kev. If you could have one person in the crowd see you play on the biggest stage, who would it be?
My mom. I not even a thought. My mom passed away in 2010.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. You know, this is gonna be hard to talk about. I'm gonna be all choked up, but I don't really talk about my mom a lot. It's a very sensitive subject. She was sick my whole life. You know what I mean? And I thank my dad every day. He let us have a life, and you know he took care of her. But you know, seeing the ambulances come every week, and you know, take her in for this test, you know, and it was hard.
Right.
So, when did I start DJing? I forget what year, but I don't think I was a full DJ yet. When I might have been. I'm not really sure if I'm being honest. Like it's a time in my life where I don't really think about.
Right.
But I think I definitely would love her to hear me play. You know, she was around when I like first started learning. She'd heard a couple family parties I did and stuff like that. And I think she saw what I had, you know what I mean? And what I had to give. Cause like, I used to throw like Michael Jackson concerts for my family when growing up and like dancing and everything. And like I spent on your podcast, that man taught me about music.
Yeah. You love Michael Jackson, your guy. Yeah.
So, and I always try to throw him in my sets now because, you know, I want people to feel the same love that I feel. So shout out to I call her my sister, Michelle Pagano. She loves Michael Jackson just as much as me. We connect on that level. you know, the man might have had his personal problems that people have problems with, but, you know, just speaking from his musical standpoint, not the person.
From the art.
Yeah, the art itself. But yeah, my mom, man, that, you know, God, it's so hard to talk about. No, that's why it's a good question.
I want to, if you don't mind, I like to dig deep on that. Cause
yeah.
Because I know we didn't really talk about it.
Yeah, for sure.
So your mom, what do you think are some things she instilled in you?
To be honest, you know, my mom loved music too. She loved to dance, and you know, before she got sick, she loved to dance and have a good time. She was like the party, man. Like her and my dad had a pretty big age gap. Like my dad's 91. I think when she passed away,
oh wow,
I think she was like 55 or something. Big age gap. But my mom was like, you know, she liked to party. I never got to see that side really. Mm-hmm. Like growing up, she was sick. I want to say like 3/4 of my life. So I didn't really get to see that part. I saw it in, you know, clips.
Bits and pieces.
Yeah, because, you know, when she was feeling good, she was feeling good. She was having a good time and like dancing and like singing and like having a good time. And I see it in pictures. You know, she was just, you know, having fun. And I think my mom would be like one of those moms that would come out to my gigs. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If she could. And
be
like,
the cool mom.
Yeah, she'd be like, support me. She a memory I'll never forget. We used to crank call the same guy on New Year's. She used to let us have New Year's parties with our friends, like sleepovers and stuff.
Oh, she's a cool mom.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, so she would let us crank call people, and like she would always get on. We would crank call this guy in the phone book. It's Major Milton was his name, but his name Milton Major was his name.
Yeah.
We would call him like every year, and she did it once. It was funny. But yeah, she was the cool mom, man. She let us, you know. And I have older siblings as well. So like I have a sister Joanne. She was like my second mom, basically. She introduced me to freestyle music. People make fun of me because I go in these freestyle sets, but I wouldn't even know that music if it wasn't for her. Mm-hmm. But my sister kind of took over that role for us and like letting us. So my mom, you know, kind of saw that she was taking us under her wing and let us stay out. No curfew, let us stay out. And we were only kids that didn't have curfew. So a lot of people wanted to hang out with us because, can I sleep over? Because like we can stay up till whenever.
Stay out whenever.
And my sister would take us to the movies. She took us to the home run derby when it was here at the vet. Like,
oh hell yeah.
She let us bring in water guns and like beach balls, and we were like squirting people from the 700 level. Like we were those kids, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think my mom would be the one in the crowd that's hyped to be there, man. Just like dancing around if she could.
How old are you when she passed?
Well, 2010. It's 13 years ago.
Serious? Okay, 26.
Yeah. So
age.
I was DJing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you still get pictures of her?
I have a couple in my phone. I don't have any here. Because she was sick, there wasn't a lot of like picture moments. Like I have pictures like holding me as a kid, you know, and stuff like that. It's all at my parents' house. But now that you say that, man, I really think I should have one here of her holding me and like maybe put it somewhere special.
Put it on the desk, put it on the studio.
Yeah, for sure. And that's actually a really good point, man. I'm going to do that. I don't visit my dad enough, which is this terrible son of me. I call him.
You're a busy person.
Yeah, and that's what sucks, man. Life gets in the way, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
but
you know.
You always...
Because he lives up in Croydon, so like you leave here at 3 o'clock, it's going to take me an hour and a half to get there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not an excuse by any means. But me having the shore house this year, my dad loves the shore.
Right.
So guess where my dad's coming?
Yeah.
My dad's going to hang out with me down the shore.
Yeah.
Hey, Smooth, my dad's going to come. He doesn't know. But I think that camera went off.
Did it?
There's not blinking anymore. Can you?
Let's try. Cool. Yeah, no, I think it just went out because I was checking.
Yeah, I was checking that one as well. Smooth. My dad's definitely coming to the shore house.
That's cool.
Yeah, and he's a big seafood guy. I'm allergic, but we're gonna be right next to like a cool seafood spot, so he can get us clams of spaghetti and all these things. So, but yeah, my mom, man.
That's good. I mean, it sounds like she raised a great son. Like I said,
I appreciate that
because you can kind of tell people right away almost, and
I think the freedom that she gave us really helped mold me and my brother.
Gave you that exactly what you just said. It gave you freedom. So I'm sure you never felt like you had to like be spiteful and do shit that you shouldn't be doing.
Like I think because of that freedom and like they didn't give us like a tight leash, it kind of let us live life. You know, and I thank my sister for that too. My sister helped me experience things I probably no other kid probably got to experience. You know what I mean? Like taking us to, no problem taking me and my brother and our friends to the world, like the home run derby because the World Series is in Philly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like all these different things. The All-Star game was in Philly.
Yeah,
I want to say what was what. it had to be 98 probably.
Yeah.
I was a freshman in high school.
Damn.
Yeah, you probably weren't even born yet.
I was born in 96.
Yeah, so you were too.
I'll tell you what though, man, like your mom would be so proud of you for sure because like everything you've been doing.
That's what my family tells me that.
Yeah, and like DJing for the Phillies, man, like that's huge, man.
Yeah, she would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah, you should.
I'm definitely this year. It's a goal of mine to get my dad on the field for the Veterans Day game.
Hell yeah!
Once they found out my dad was in the Korean War, they were like, why wouldn't you tell us? I was
it's a matter of time at this point.
So I was like, they only had one Korean War vet. So they said, this season we can bring your dad on, and then you can wheel him out because he has to be wheelchaired around a lot. But knowing him, he'll want to walk out with his and then sit down, and he has one of those ones you can like walk and then sit. I think that'd be cool to experience that with my dad, and they're gonna let him change a base and all these things. So, they told me like this year he's definitely on. So I'm gonna get my dad on the field of the Phillies game this year. That's a goal of mine.
What do you think is the strongest quality about your family?
It's one that we don't practice at all. It's the love that you should have for a family member and letting little shit go. My family likes to hold grudges, but back when I was a kid, like my family was always around. Sisters, brothers, cousins, uncles. We were all together. And then it took like a couple certain things that happens in life, bro. Is like families grow apart and like
shit happens, man.
A lot of shit happened over money. My one uncle died. Everyone thought my dad stole money and that this guy stole money. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and that's one thing my dad always taught me was don't sweat the small shit. Basically, you can't if you physically can't control the outcome of something or it's not. Maybe not. You can always control the outcome.
I say
if you have something, nothing. You don't be stressed out of something you have no control over.
Exactly. If it's not in your control, it's not your issue.
Exactly.
So it's nothing to really worry about.
Like I stressed about this situation with my house. Like oh man, like I don't really have the money for this right now. And I'm so thankful for my dad. Like he helped me. When I need help. Obviously, he's like my backbone. You know what I'm saying? So.
You're good.
Okay, I thought my camera went out.
I'll let you know if it goes out.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like I think that I wish my family was more understanding of certain situations and different things, man. Because like at the end of the day, who do we have?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
it's family.
So that's why a lot of my friends, man, they're my family.
Yeah, and that's sometimes, man, like. Your friends, like you kind of just said, friends can be your family. It's in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
I had my roommate Chris and Bobby and
I just met Chris, right?
That was the one. Yep.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
He is like I love that kid.
I like that chain.
Dude, yeah, you showed me the price of that chain. Yeah. Shit, you're still paying that shit off.
Yeah, man. I bet.
Like, shit. But yeah, like it's just the people that come in your life at different times. Like,
I believe the universe puts people in our lives for certain reasons.
I agree, and then the universe works when you work. You know, it only works when you work. If you can't just sit in your room bitching about life and
you get out what you put in for sure.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask you my third question because it's
first, who would your second question be? Your grandma?
Shit. I
know you have a strong connection with her.
Honestly, man, like so I obviously have a strong connection with her, but like I gotta go with my mom too because she's battling surgery. She just got surgery. She got a non-cancerous tumor removed in her like uterus. Had to get all that stuff done.
Yeah.
But I think my mom, man, because like I love my grandma, my best friend in the entire world. Like, but like just because my mom truly is my biggest fan. Yeah. And I
really think my mom would have been like she'd be wearing Tonka gear for sure.
I think she is in heaven, man, for sure. I believe in that stuff.
Yeah.
Man. But yeah, she's my biggest fan, and it's like, because when it's your parents, you don't really, you're like, oh, all right, Trish, like you know what I'm saying, like. But with her, like when I sit back and think about it, she really does like care about me and love me, and being 21 years old, having twins in her stomach, and playing basketball and having 2 torn ACLs, like, and having a situation that like, she had it's difficult. We'll talk about it off camera, but a situation that made me gain a lot of respect for her.
Yeah, for sure.
She always supports me no matter what. Yeah. And hardest worker I know. She busts her ass. Even today, like, it was funny, like the small things, like she has no room to really walk. Shouldn't be walking at all. But my dog, I was supposed to take my dog out for a walk. He didn't want to go out because he loved my mom so much. My mom's like, all right, I'm going to put my slippers on. We took a little walk, and just powering through. She's so strong. And I think it'll be my mom for sure.
Oh, bet. Okay. So it's funny too because we didn't know each other 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and we have a lot of stuff in common. And I think we're really learning that, and that's what's funny, man. The universe puts people in our path for a reason.
It does,
and it helps mold us into different.
It does. People. I also have to give a shout out to my dad too. My dad is that man. He is the best, man. Like, so my mom and dad are the same age. Their birthdays are a week apart. So and their story is insane. I don't think it's my place to really say it yet. Just because it's not like I said, it's not my place. But like I said, I'll tell you off camera. But my dad is the epitome of a man. He is the epitome of a man.
Man's man.
He is He is the epitome of a man, and it's like it's all I can really say on it right now. Yeah. But yeah, I gotta give a shout out to him too. But definitely it'll be my mom or dad. But,
it's so funny too. Thinking back to that question is, it's like I said, I never talk about my mom, and like when get into a new relationship, people ask you about your family, and it's like
it's hard.
The one thing I can't talk about is her. You know what I mean? Because growing up, my dad gave us that freedom that we wanted.
Right.
They gave us that freedom, so I forgot about that part of my life. And obviously, as I get older now, thinking back, it's like really so hard to talk about. And recently, someone came into my life and was like, "You ever think about talking to someone about it?" And I might use this platform to talk about it. So I appreciate
that's a huge step for you.
Yeah,
man.
I appreciate you asking me that question.
No,
I really appreciate that, man.
Got me fucking tearing up and shit,
know,
bro.
right?
It's like
episode 3 where the tears come out.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I always feel like it's just crazy because there's things that are hidden in your memory that you don't even realize. There's
it's funny the things that you think of when you thought you forgot about it, but the people that come into your life and ask you certain questions and makes you remember things. So let's hear that third one, the third and final answer.
This is a lighter question, I promise. I don't want
you're really.
I don't go too deep on you and shit.
You're making me rethink you bringing you on here.
So this is a good one. All right, Eric. So if you could have a signed pair of shoes from any athlete, who would it be?
Kobe Bryant. So I have a pair. Actually, I'll grab it right now and bring it on camera. Hold on.
Hell yeah.
A lot of people don't know, but these 2 rows behind me, you can't see them.
They're Kobe's.
They're Kobe Bryant's. So this pair right here, for people listening at home, is the Kobe 1 Pronto undefeated edition.
Camo looking.
Yeah, it's all camo, so you can see it.
Camo, white bottoms.
See it in the cameras.
White bottoms, black laces, black tongue.
This was exclusive to All-Star Weekend at the store called Undefeated. They did three, I think it was 3 or 4 colors total, but this is the most rare one. So
how'd you get your hands on them?
So this is where that story comes in. My first time ever playing in Vegas. Shout out to DJ Direct and Blueprint Sound. They trusted me that I could play out there. Brought me out, and this is going to sound so stupid to some of you, right? I walked. He showed me. They brought me out, but shout out to DJ Sev One. He's going to be on the podcast soon.
Oh yeah.
He brought me to this store that his friend owned. I'm like, it's just going to be like a boutique store. It's Urban Necessities, the biggest sneaker consignment shop on the West Coast. Right. So he brings me in, introduces me to 2J's Kicks, and that's his Instagram name. I forget his real name, but it might be Jay. Who knows? But he introduced me to him, and then I saw these on the wall. Right. And they brand new were like, I want to say like 210 or something, 220.
It's not too bad, to be honest with you.
Right. So someone had them on consignment for $360. Worn one time, and like you look at them now, they don't even look worn, right?
No, yeah.
I look at the box, I look at the hang tag, I look at all these things. I'm like, this dude never wore these shoes. He must have worn them in his house.
Like
there
one time,
bro. There was no dirt on the bottom, no dirt on the side, no scuff marks. I inspected these Johns. I had $400 in cash to my name out there. I had debit card. And all
it was your
things.
Budget.
Yeah. So I had $400 cash, right? And he's like, if you pay cash, give me $350, whatever. So I was like, oh man. Do I really want to be on a budget out here? First day. It was like the first, second day. I'm there for a week.
First hour.
Right. So it literally was. Like, I think it was like the second day I was there.
That's hilarious.
And I spent $350 out of my $400 for those sneakers. And don't regret it one bit.
Hell yeah.
And no one that's not a sneakerhead won't understand that because, I've seen those shoes released. They only released in LA. You could only get them in LA. And it was a raffle. Like there was lines down the block. That shoe right now, because Kobe passed away, used is worth $900.
Really?
Will I sell it? No.
Nah.
Never. I have a pair down here that's a golf shoe that's worth $1,000. That's a pair of Jordans. I'm going to sell those. But
You are.
I am going to sell those because I was like, if the price drops below a G, I'll keep them. They are only going up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a pair of shoes that.
Hell yeah. There's a lot of significance to you.
And if Kobe was still alive and like was able to sign them, he would sign them. I would clean them, have him sign them, and I'll put them in a display case and never wear them again. No. And it's funny. People see me wearing that shoe and they don't even know what it is. And that's what sucks. You know, sneakerheads, I break necks with those things. Yeah. But like some people are like, oh, they're a camo pair of shoes. They had no idea.
They just don't understand the significance of it. And, you know, but like I'm personally not a sneakerhead. I've never really been like I'm trying to update my clothes. Like I've never been someone who likes to spend money on that.
This is what I like spending money on.
Yeah. I mean,
clothes I can give two shits about.
Yeah. And it's like, you appreciate it though. Like I can appreciate it. Like, I mean,
these shorts are from Old Navy. This shirt was on sale at Marshall's.
But the shoes, man, you don't hold back on the shoes.
No. And that's what, you know, if that's something that I'm into. You know what I mean,
it's your thing, man.
Yeah, this is you're seeing it. It's 20 years in the making.
Yeah, and you can't fake that shit, man.
No,
you
for sure. Like what size are you?
11.
11. Okay, I was gonna gift you a pair, but you're not. I'm a 10.5.
No, man, it's all good, man.
Because I actually have a pair. They're right down here. They're from Fresh Rags in Florida. They put out a Saucony, and I wound up buying them when they first released. And then I bought something recently from them, and they sent me another pair.
Oh, really?
I was like, I think you guys made a mistake. Like, I already have these. Yeah. And they were like, no, we didn't make a mistake. You're a big supporter.
Oh,
like,
wow.
You're always buying our stuff. So, like, we wanted to throw in a pair.
Try them on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. They do run small, though. Right?
Try them on. I appreciate you thinking of that.
Yeah. If you're a 10.5, I was going to gift them to you for coming today. That's why I asked you what size you are. But that's the one thing I could have signed. That would be that for sure.
That's cool, man.
What about you?
So for me, an athlete. So an athlete.
Doesn't even have to be an athlete.
So I'm trying to think. That's a good question.
I would love for Michael J. Fox and them to sign these, like Christopher Lloyd to sign these posters. That'd be sick.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of someone I really look up to. Honestly, like,
and Kobe Bryant's a Philly dude too. So
he is. Laura Marion. I used to love LeBron, like in the very beginning, but I mean LeBron's LeBron, so that's not even. You got the whole LeBrons. You know who I actually, you know who I'm rooting for a lot. I like Jalen Hurts a lot, but I'm also really rooting for Tyrese Maxey.
Okay.
I think he's I think to someone who
he's definitely the future of this franchise.
Yeah, sure. Man. But yeah, I didn't even think of my own questions really. I mean, like, I think Ryan Reynolds is dope. He's funny as shit. But he won't sign like a shoes or not. But
he can sign a Deadpool poster.
Yeah, right. Ryan Reynolds is funny.
I'm excited for his crossover movie with Wolverine.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
That's gonna be
wild. I love that. I mean, dude, that's a whole other pod, man. I love that shit. Like, I used to watch like Marvel and all that stuff. I'm a video game nerd. I used to be a lot.
I'm more of a sports guy. Like you can see the TV I have in here. This is for my Xbox room, and then my PlayStation's downstairs.
Hell yeah.
I'm a video game guy too. I think all guys mostly have their lane.
I used to be a lot. I used to like organize my PlayStation games on a shelf, like when I was in grade school and shit. Wow. But now now that like I'm kind of older, I don't have much time. I'll play the major games that come out, but not too much.
Yeah, I just started playing PGA with my friends.
Oh yeah, I asked you about that. I was thinking about getting that game.
It's actually not bad. It's really hard.
Yeah, I went to Top Golf yesterday, and
I saw that. How'd you like it?
Good. I go all the time.
I was in a league there. Well, the one in Jersey. I was in a league on Monday nights. There.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we almost won. We were in the championship.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I have like 120 teams.
I just like driving the ball, man.
Yeah, well, that's what everybody likes to do. You know what I mean?
But I love it, man. Golf is something I'm looking to get into in the summertime.
Yeah, definitely. It's a pain in the ass.
I know.
What I mean, but if you pick up a club and you wind up liking it, like me, it doesn't matter how much you suck, man. It's just a day to get out and enjoy the weather. And,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have a pair of clubs. If you ever want to go, I have a spare set in the basement.
Hell yeah. I got a pair too. I got my dad got me a pair a while ago, but I would definitely love to hit a range or something. One time, man. Coming on.
We'll bring Kurt.
Yeah. He's nice, right?
Yeah, dude. He's like I call him the Philly Happy Gilmore.
Hell yeah.
His dad was a groundskeeper at I think the one in FDR. He was a groundskeeper. So like Kurt's been around golf his whole life.
Yeah.
So like he's been swinging the clubs since he was a toddler.
No, I'm definitely.
I think this year we're bringing Kurt Jr. out.
Yeah. So when we have a golf, we had a golf outing last year for my nonprofit. It was a memorial, but all the proceeds went to the Grace Project. My team actually won the golf outing.
Oh, wow.
Dude,
Well, this year we're going to put a Philly DJ team there.
Oh, yeah. If I end up having a golf outing, again, I don't know if it'll be this year or next year, but I want you guys to get a team.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it was so funny because
the prize better be worth it. I'm just kidding.
I think it was a free round at that place. But it was so funny because they told us that, like, hey, Grace Project needs a team. I'm like, shit. I'm like, okay. I'm not the best. I got like 3 all Catholics on my team, and they're all college golfers, and we smoked them.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, and that's funny. You probably seen. I DJ at Parks Casino. I've been there like 10 years.
Yeah.
So they let me be a part of like their golf outings and stuff.
Oh,
like
hell
that.
yeah!
And I won the longest drive this year.
Did you? What was it?
People aren't going to believe me, but I think they measured it. It was like 326.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a bomb.
Let's
go.
Like
literally the straightest drive I had all day.
That's it.
And there was people watching because that was like the whole, like everybody got backed up on because everybody's trying to smoke it, right? So, they had somebody from our team went, and then some, spokesperson from something did it, and they were like hitting these little dinkers. And I was like, guys, you just got to get up and, grip it and rip it, right? And they were like, all right, show us how it's done, tough guy, right? I get up there, I smoke it, pipe it.
That's
right
gotta
down.
Be such a good feeling.
And it's funny. Shout out to my boy DJ Capside. Is like he played with it. I think he played with it in this one year. But after I smoked it, all I could hear in the back of my head, like him saying, "Yo, you piped that, bro." Like, what I mean? He does this little giggle.
You're like, all right, cool.
Yeah. I definitely piped it, but I definitely won. And I don't think my brother ever gave me that gift card. I won a gift card. I had to leave. I had to leave early.
Yeah,
so
that's funny as shit.
The award ceremony.
Did you play any sports? I know I might have asked you on the pod, but did you play any sports growing up?
Baseball my whole life. That career came to an end when I was 18. I was 18. I got rear-ended by a drunk driver.
Oh, wow.
Me and my cousin just made this travel team in Newtown. Like my future was starting to build like in baseball, and now I have a horrible lower back from it.
Wow,
I was out of baseball for like a year and a half because of the court case. They didn't want me playing sports. They didn't want me doing anything. So I went through rehab and all these things. And now I still 2 bad discs in my lower back from it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it literally ruined my career. We were 18. We me and my cousin weren't that close growing up because of family bullshit. Mm-hmm. And then we decided when we were older, like old enough to be our own people, we joined baseball teams together. And then, my dad would be on one side of the field and his grandpa, my uncle, will be on the other side of the field. They just want to talk to each other. They always came to our games. So me and him, we played sports together for like 2 or 3 years. And then we were like, let's try out for this travel team in Newtown. Made it. We were like, oh man, this is going to be like, this is the team that people scouted, basically. Like, this is the team where colleges would come watch.
It's a team to be on.
Yeah, literally. It's like a Legion team is basically what it was. And we made it with wooden bat only. I was like so piped. Like, I was so hyped. Like, me and him, I was a pitcher. We were both pitchers and, infielders. And it was a crazy experience. I played that. I played football till like middle school. And then you had to practice in the summer in high school. And I was like, nah, fuck that. So in high school, I played golf. Never made any baseball teams. I never played any baseball teams in high school, like for the high school. Like it kind of sucks because like when in Truman, it was like real clicky. So if you didn't play for Levittown, like you weren't on the team. Basically.
Right.
Like if you're from Croydon, you had to try out. But if you made it, you would be like someone from Levittown who might have sucked back up. Yeah. Because the coach's son was on the team, and it was awful. It was awful. Because I was good enough to be on the team. I was good enough to pitch for the team. And I at Bucks, actually, was the first time I ever tried getting back into baseball. I tried out to be a pitcher for the Bucks County Community College baseball team.
You righty or lefty?
I'm a righty. Yeah. I didn't make it. I just couldn't throw that power anymore. I just don't have it. You know what I mean? I just don't have it anymore. I can't really. And that's why people are surprised I play golf. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I swing pretty aggressive, and my back feels it the next day. So like I can't play golf 2 days in a row. I can't do back workouts 2 days in a row. There's a lot of things I can't do 2 days in a row. Man. Yeah, every morning I have to stretch and like use my massage gun every day. It's the thing. I go to a chiropractor once a week. Like, it's terrible. And I don't have health insurance now, so that's $400 for 6 things. So I try to space them out. You know what I mean? So I can't afford to go every week, but I need that to survive. So it sucks. So this guy that rear-ended me, I actually knew him. At the only light in Croydon is where I got rear-ended.
Seriously?
Literally
he was drunk, right?
Yeah, he was drunk.
You had DUI?
Nope. He knew the cop.
You know, it's funny. I got hit by a drunk driver 2 Sundays ago, actually.
Oh, no, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know that.
It wasn't nothing crazy, but so I was, like I said, being in sobriety, it was just like, I'm DJing, it's just you get annoyed. Like, not even a sip, right? Nothing to take the edge off. So I'm leaving, right, the bar, and like there's like a fight broke out there, and like whatever, we handled it. It was nothing crazy. We just handled it, but I'm just like annoyed because I'm like, all right, I'm sober, and like nothing should be happening.
Right. Yeah.
So like, so I'm leaving, and I'm parked. I'm probably less than a mile away. I'm back on 95.
Yeah.
And I'm at the light. And I get hit. I got bumped in the back. I mean, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So
you're already annoyed.
I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, what's going on? I was like a slight bump, nothing crazy. So I get out, and I'm my fault. And I look, and I look to next to me, and it's this big ass dude in this little ass car, and it's the bouncer from the bar. I'm like, I can't catch a break tonight, man. And we were laughing. So I get out, and the guy behind me comes, and he's like this clearly obliterated guy, right? So we go look at him. I'm like, come on, man. Like, bro, what's going on? He's like, I'm sorry, bro. So we look at it. Nothing's there. Like, no scratches, no dents. I'm like, please, bro, just get home safe, man. And he's like, I got you. And I'm like, for me, because I'm like, I'm not really thinking. I'm like, just go home. Like, at this point, you got an accident. You should be more aware or sober enough to at least go home, right? So he drives in front of me, gets on 95. He's probably 100 feet in front of me. This dude spins his car out, flips it, and hits the side rail and like totals his car right in front of me. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, this is the weirdest night ever. I was like, I need to go to bed. Like,
right, yeah.
I didn't know what to do, honestly. Like, I kept going. I'm like, I was so like, dude, just get me the hell home.
Did you call the cops?
No, so I'll be honest with you, dude. I had no idea what to do. Like, so I did call, and I was like, hey, listen, like, there's just an accident on 95, just let you know. Yeah. And I called all my friends who were coming over, because like I said, I usually have after parties. Called all my friends, said, yo, there's an accident on 95, just to warn you, like, just be aware. But the car was perfectly tucked away, though, not in the middle. But it was just crazy, like, how that just happened. I'm like, holy shit. Like, could you imagine? Like,
no.
I'm like,
I've hydroplaned on the expressway and totaled one of my cars.
It's scary, man.
Yeah. Was it raining and stuff?
It was. It was like, it rained, like, just stopped, so it was still wet.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this dude, like, man, I
can't. So we all have those nights where, like, oh, we can make it. So, like, hopefully that guy's okay. And
yeah, I mean, like I said, I was honestly kind of shocked. Like, I was having the worst night ever.
Yeah.
I just didn't really know what to do, so I just called and let people know that there was something going on, and if something happened, then I went home.
Well, at least you called, the cops and let them know that something did happen.
I just said, I need to say something. I was like, dude, I don't know. I was just like, dude, just get me home. Like,
you don't have to necessarily stick around for stuff like that.
I wasn't
just because you're putting yourself in danger with.
Yeah. I didn't drink or anything, so I wasn't worried about that.
No, it wasn't that. I mean, like, I always call if there's any, like, someone's pulled over on, like, the expressway when it's dark, because that's like
you get smoked that way.
I was like, hey, like, I just passed someone, and I always look for the next mile marker, and I'm like, hey, I just called because someone's broke down the side of the road. They're not outside the vehicle, but they're near, mile marker, blah, 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 going east or west or whatever. Just because, you know what I mean? You never know if that person's in distress or whatever. And, I learned that from just life. You know what I mean? Right. It's like, you always feel bad. You know what I mean? It's like, you wish you could do more. This is, that's my way of helping. Like,
for sure.
You know what I mean?
Do what you can.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
But I appreciate you coming on today, man. You really,
thank you so much.
You made this made it a really great episode.
Thank you. I had such a good time.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having you. And for the people listening at home and watching on YouTube, I am DJ Tonka. You can follow me on Instagram at DJ Tonka _. The show, Talkin with Tonka, has its own Instagram as well, at DJ Tonka, at Talkin with Tonka. It'll be on the screen here below. You can also make sure if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. It definitely helps the algorithm push us up a little bit. And then we got DJ Kev. His Instagram is, if I remember right, is at Kev _Nichols, right?
Yes, Kev _.
Is there a reason why it's not DJ Kev?
I actually thought about that recently.
There's a lot of DJ Kevs. So.
Yeah, I think it's also because it's that, and also because I think I DJ, but I also do the Grace Project, and I also do different stuff. So it's more of like a me type of thing all around. But I actually just changed my name, not the app, but the name to Kev Nichols _DJ Kev, so people can still find it when they look it up.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, because it's like I said, I've thought about that a lot because I've noticed like all you guys.
I don't remember your podcast is at, so if you want to drop that now, I'll put it below.
Yeah, so it's at the Loft Podcast. It's a YouTube show. It's also on streams on audio as well. And
where can they find you on audio?
Just the Loft by Kev Nichols on
what platforms?
Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. Pretty much anywhere you can find podcasts.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm trying to dive into now. I just finally got it. I'm on Apple and Spotify.
Yeah. And I'll help you with that. But we're almost at 1,000. We're at 975 subscribers. So
that's awesome, man.
I'm excited, man. It's been a long journey, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I started a whole new page because I was like, DJ Tonka is in I'm saying it like a third person.
Yeah, but
I don't have a lot of subscribers. I have like 300 on YouTube, but I wanted to start over and see where I'm at. So I don't even know how many it's up to now, but it's probably not a lot.
It's not about the numbers, man. It's really not about the numbers. Yeah. I just think for me, it's a milestone.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
Not about the
thousands. That's a huge milestone, man.
It's not about the numbers, but it's also
definitely something that's gonna fuel me as well.
For sure, it's just showing,
something to work towards.
It's showing that people are enjoying it. But I think the biggest tip I can give you and I give to myself is as long as I enjoy it, right? And that's and you kind of realize that once you start to enjoy it, you bring in the right crowd.
For sure.
I never thought me putting out an episode of myself would have. I never thought of doing that.
It was a very good episode.
It just kind of hit me on a whim. Thank you, and it hit me on a whim, and turns out it was people liked it. So.
Yeah, for sure. People like looking in, man, when they don't know you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like showing that vulnerable side. But
absolutely.
Everyone, thanks you for tuning in. Catch you guys next Thursday. Audio will be out 8 p.m. Videos. My new schedule of videos are going to drop by 8 p.m. on Mondays.
He'll build the routine.
Yeah,
out.
So Mondays at 8 is video, audio. Thursdays at 8. Thank you all for tuning in. This is Talkin with Tonka. DJ Kev, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate you, man.
No doubt, man. Peace.
Peace.